Hello, thank you for watching. My name is Sylvia Sykes. I created this solo exhibit here called the Aunties at Summit Artspace. The exhibition is to celebrate the role of the auntie figure in Black and Brown communities. There are 14 pieces. Each painting comes with a small prompt from someone in the community, some of them being myself, of what an auntie means to them, a memory they have of an auntie, or how an auntie has impacted their life. Almost everything I do now, I try to capture the why. So there's nothing wrong with just a pretty painting to be decorative at all. But I think my work comes out best when I'm telling a story, or at least trying to tell a story. Even if the whole painting doesn't immediately tell a whole story, if there's a story behind it, it feels more meaningful and it helps me to engage with my audience better. So my last 3 solo exhibits, including this one, all have like a storytelling element behind each of the paintings. When I was 3 years old, I used to draw on the walls a lot, always got in trouble for it. And at the same time, my favorite cartoon character was Angelica from the Rugrats, who is a menace, but I loved her so much. She was always just so bodacious and powerful, and I wanted to be all of those things. So one day I get my crayons and I'm drawing on the wall, and I'm like, I need to have a portrait of Angelica because she's amazing. Like, she inspires me. I want to be better. I want to be like her. So I take my crayons and then permanent marker, because of course I just loved her that much, so it had to be permanent. And I drew this like huge, monstrous picture of her. And I knew I was gonna get in trouble, but it was worth it. My mom did come in and see it, but instead of doing her normal routine of, scolding me and yelling and putting me on punishment and all that, she stopped and she's like, oh wow, you really represented like Angelica. I love it. It looks just like her. And so that moment was so amazing to me, because I had never done anything where I could like change my mom's course of action as far as things she didn't want me to do. So that moment really taught me that art has a real power to inspire people and make them stop and reflect. And it was just like, I want to do that for the rest of my life. I want to do that, make pretty things that somehow make people stop and think on something. My educational background, I did go to a performing arts school here in Akron called Miller South. I went there from 4th to 8th grade, had 2 amazing visual arts teachers, Miss Susan Yingling and Miss Julie Hogarth. I didn't pursue art in college, but I did graduate. I went to the University of Akron, and my degree was in psychology with a minor in sociology. Those elements do make their way, though, into my artwork. I am from Akron, Ohio, lived here my whole life. I would say that where I'm from has influenced my artwork. Overall, I would say the sense of community that exists in Akron really has inspired me. One of my missions as an artist is to inspire people to get back to more human engagement and be less dependent on devices and technology. And so my reference for when our sense of community was stronger was definitely based here in West Akron in particular. That's like the main inspiration for everything I do. So that's definitely was inspired by Akron.